All right, guys, breaking news for the Forex world. MetaTrader 4 has just been banned from the Apple iOS App Store. And this is a huge deal. And in this video, I'm going to explain what's been going on, why this is happening, and possibly the closest solution that I have for you right now if you are dealing with this problem. Now, quick before I jump into the explanations, if you have MetaTrader 4 on your Apple iPhone, if you have that installed, don't uninstall it and don't try to update it right now, because if you do that, you will probably lose access to the app. And if you go to the App Store, you won't see it there when you search up MetaTrader 4 anymore. It's gone. And this is sort of a crisis in the Forex world, as a lot of traders use MetaTrader 4. So let me give you a little bit of what's going on. Of course, MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 controlled by MetaQuotes, which is a company that has to do with Russia. Now, and we're going to touch that in a second. And when I say when it has to do with Russia, what I mean is it is Russian owned. And of course, with the Russia-Ukraine situation and Putin mobilizing some things into Ukraine, things seem to be escalating in a way that, of course, is now impacting the Forex world. So let me show you guys at least the breakdown. So, of course, MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, the biggest retail Forex platforms, have been removed from the Apple iOS store. And basically, it's a move from the U.S. government, allegedly, to help with this sort of situation. Apparently, there was possibly some money laundering or some helping of Russian oligarchs to move funds outside of Russia with the MetaQuotes things. I'm not going to speculate too much, but the point is there's a reaction from Apple and the US government perhaps to sort of allegedly try to sort of quiet down this application that could be used for something, I guess, supposedly that is malicious or something, right? Again, not really trying to speculate. I'm just trying to give you guys the news and what I have for you. Of course, the desktop version right now, if you have MT4 and MT5, has not been removed yet and is still available. However, the industry might be expecting a disruption shortly. And this is really big news for a lot of traders, including myself, because though I don't use MetaTrader 4 personally to trade, I use their scripting all the time. I've written so much code in MetaTrader 4, it would be really devastating for me to lose it. And I'm sure for a lot of you guys who use the desktop version or the application version, let's just hope things don't escalate any further. This could mean it's not out of the question that the application could somehow get banished on a bigger level, which of course could be a bad thing for MetaQuotes, the company behind it, and also of course bad for a lot of us traders who use MetaTrader 4. In a second, I'm going to show you a little backup, especially if you're in the US or if you use Apple Apple products in general. I'll show you guys a solution, at least for what I have, but it doesn't have to do with MetaTrader 4. There's no easy solution at this point, so I'll get to that in a second. We're starting to see US regulated brokers no longer offering MetaTrader 5. This is the latest right now. So right now what you're seeing is that if you go to something like Forex.com, or I haven't checked OANDA, but possibly even OANDA as well, if you try to download MetaTrader 5, they've halted the ability to download it on US regulated brokers. Now, I'm not sure, and I can't speak to all of your other brokers if you're using somewhere from a brokerage for somewhere else, but me as a US trader, I trade on US regulated brokers, so MetaTrader is quickly no longer becoming an option, which is definitely concerning here for at least my US regulated brokers where I park most of my funds. Okay, so let's talk about alternatives. Here's the thing. Alternatives to this are going to probably be, if you're using a US regulated broker like me, this doesn't impact me entirely because fortunately, and probably for some of you guys as well, if you trade with OANDA, which is the broker that I use as a US client, I'm able to trade directly on TradingView. I don't even need MetaTrader to actually place and close trades. And it might be time to think about making the switch, as things don't look promising right now between relations in Russia and the US with how that impacts us as traders. The last thing I'd want for you guys is to no longer have access to your MetaTrader account, which of course I will say one thing, I'm not trying to raise the stress levels or anything. I'm just trying to make you guys aware of what's going on. And I will say this, your funds are not linked to MetaTrader as just a warning sign, right? or just as a little clarification, some people might be afraid like, oh, am I not going to be able to access your funds? Well, your funds, remember, are going to be on your brokerage. MetaTrader is just a software application that allows you to look at charts, place trades through your broker, etc. But we're quickly, like I said, we're seeing a very quick reaction to a lot of US brokers, and perhaps other brokers could follow, where they're no longer making MetaTrader available on their platform. So again, what I personally think as a solution is, if you're using a US regulated broker or using a US or a regulated broker in general, I'm thinking more and more that I'm looking to be, sticking around with the regulated brokerages that are integrated with TradingView.com. I'll have my links down below in the description if you'd like to sign up with OANDA. If you're a U.S. citizen, there is a link there that I've got set up. So you can click that link. You can sign up for an OANDA account if you want to make the jump. Again, I'm feeling confident right now that I do not want to park my money anywhere where I can't use MetaTrader 5 or 4, right? I want to use TradingView anyways. It's the best platform in my personal opinion. And very quickly, the door seems to be closing with MetaTrader, which again is a red flag for a lot of us, including, like I said, just to make it selfish for a second, I have so many countless scripts and code samples that I use for everything in my trading that are written on MetaTrader. So this is definitely something to pay attention to, and I'll continue to cover it as much as I can on the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you turn on post notifications, you may see another video from me perhaps tomorrow or whenever I have more updates. So make sure to do that if you haven't already. Click the notification bell. Again, I'm not trying to raise red flags or alarms. I'm just trying to make you guys aware of what we know currently. There is some, I guess, boycotting of MetaTrader on the App Store, and it is entirely possible that it could continue to expand to other places. Now, I will say, if you have an Android or if you have a non-Apple phone and you can use another thing, to my knowledge, I believe that it is completely still available to you on the Google Play Store, right? However you want to download it in another way. So if you're using an Android phone, you should be fine for now. But again, relations between Russia and non-Russian countries, it's all sort of a tricky business, and risking just the regulation press down on this situation could be ugly, just because it might mean losing access to MetaTrader, which again, none of us want that to happen. I do hope that this sort of that they find some sort of quick resolution to this. There may be other solutions like VPNs or using a different phone, or right now, currently, like I said, the big one is, of course, it's still available on the desktop, but with your brokerage, you're gonna have to check with your brokerage specifically to see if they're continuing to offer MetaTrader 4. A lot of offshore brokers are probably not going to alter this, right? But if you're using a US regulated broker and there's rules from authority that say, hey, no more MetaTrader because it's MetaQuotes, which is a Russian company, and they don't like that. If that's the case, it could very quickly be off the shelf for a lot of brokerages that are under regulations of the Western world, if you will. I don't have anything else to say in terms of other countries, but for the US specifically, it seems to be going that direction, as many of the major brokers are already disconnecting from MetaQuotes. So there you go. Again, my personal solution is jumping over to TradingView, and I've already been making the switch for months and months, but I really hope that we don't lose access to MetaTrader itself. It is an excellent application, especially its built-in coding features, which again is what I'm interested in. With that said, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back next time.